I'm the Manga Goblin Tricks, and this is my very first review. The very first review is of, as you guessed it, yes, it's of Uzaki-Chan, that manga and anime that was in the news a while back. So, let's begin. Uzaki-Chan Manga, from now on I'm just going to call it Uzaki-Chan, is a slice of life shonen manga that is released fortnightly on the Draw shop website owned by Nico Nico. It is available in 5 Tokubon volumes, published by Fujumi Shobo, 4 of which are available in English by 7 Seas Entertainment. The 5th volume should be available shortly, in a few months. I believe it's in May in English, and the 6th volume is going to be available in Japan. I believe it's June-July time, unless there are delays with the current situation. Moving on from that, we are going to look at the tropes in Uzaki-Chan, involving both her, Uzaki Hana, and Shinichi Sakurai, which I'm just going to call Shinichi. Shinichi is the male protagonist, and Hana Uzaki is the female protagonist of the series. There are a side cast of characters who are basically just walking tropes, so we'll come to those in a little moment. First, let's look at the 2 main characters. First of all, we're going to look at Shinichi. Shinichi is a rather generic male character, and this seems to be the problem that plagues slice of life mangas. The males are rather nondescript. They don't really have much history. They are rather bland in experience and expression. They have very little background or history, and if they do, it's usually linked to the female protagonist or characters themselves. And Uzaki-Chan has this in spades. In fact, for everyone saying that Uzaki Hana's fan art is rather extreme, you should look at the ones of Shinichi himself. Shinichi, in fact, in the manga, has his top off more than Uzaki does ever. Right, let's move on to Uzaki Hana, the protagonist, the female protagonist herself, and the titular character. Uzaki Hana is a rather clumsy girl, and most of the comedy is physical. Yes, it is. Whether it's her making light of her throwing up on Shinichi's duvet, or whether it's her trying to compliment Shinichi on his rather manly physique, it's always done in a comedy type of a physical, slapsticky way, with Uzaki normally coming off worse off for the antics. In fact, Uzaki probably doesn't realise how clumsy she is, and Shinichi is sort of duty-bound to look after her somehow. Maybe because she's younger, maybe he feels sorry for her, or maybe he does genuinely enjoy her company. Now, let's talk about the side characters. The side characters are Uzaki's extended family, the 2 workers at Shinichi's and Hana's job, and lastly, Shinichi's only friend, Isuhito. Let's begin with Uzaki's own mother, Tsuki. Tsuki is Uzaki's mother to begin with, and she is a walking H-manga stereotype. She has the ponytail over the one ear, which usually symbolizes the end of a said character. Also, it can mean that the character will be somehow physically attacked or emotionally taken over by feelings of lust for the main character. However, I believe these are all just in her head, as most of these interactions are again done for slapstick comedy effect, with Shinichi himself only ever wanting to learn cooking, or only ever wanting to pet the 2 Uzaki household cats. Let's continue with the Uzaki household. First of all, we have Yanagi. Yanagi is Uzaki's younger sister. She has the male hentai antagonist protagonist hairstyle. She has the "I'm going to steal your girlfriend" hairstyle. That's right. That's right. When she hits the anime, you can be sure that certain people will not be happy. Then let's move on to the tsundere brother, Kiri. Kiri is basically only used in 3 chapters and basically ends up with a dick joke. Yeah, that's it. Um, Uzaki's father is Fujio, Uzaki Fujio, and he is basically the foil for those jokes. We don't know much about them. They're just introduced in the last 2 or 3 chapters, both Fujumi and Kiri. Yanagi, on the other hand, has had a bit more development. Basically, she wants to play games with Shinichi like Hana does, and of course, Tsuki, the mother, takes that in another bad way. She thinks, oh no, he's after all of my daughters and me at the same time, yes. And then, basically, it's another misunderstanding. Yes, it's a reuse of the same joke over and over again, except this time we have Yanagi. Finally, we have the 2 cafe characters. We have Aseha Amy, and we have the father, who is colloquially called Master. He does have a name. His name is Asai Akihiko, and basically they are just foils for jokes. They are very little developed. Master has a mustache and haircut, exactly like the type of master you would find in any other slice of life manga, and the daughter has the braid glasses of Fujoshi, who you would find in many other places. There are lots of tropes here, both good and bad. The last character we have to analyze is Shinichi's only friend, and when this character is introduced, Uzaki cries in relief that Shinichi does indeed have a friend beside herself. Isuhito is the straight man. In any other comic or manga, he would be the bad guy. He has the haircut, he has the physique, he has the hair color. He would be, in any other manga, he would be the evil character, and yet here, he is simply the straight man to anyone else. He does eventually team up with the 2 cafe shop owners to push Uzaki and Shinichi into a relationship, but he's more direct than the other 2, and the other 2 are rather, they want to watch the fireworks unfold, when he would just rather light the taper and watch it explode. Let's move on to the awards that they received. Yes, Uzaki-Chan Asobai got a couple of awards, one from Nico itself and another from the Da Vinci magazine. It made the top 20. Let's move on. Take-sensei has illustrated for the Japanese Red Cross on no less than 2 occasions, using Uzaki Hana herself and giving away free goods for everyone who donated blood. It happened once in 2019 and again last year in 2020. This was highly popular, and Take-sensei himself gave blood during both times. Uzaki-Chan has been on subway tunnel. She even has a manhole cover in Saitama Prefecture. Yes, she joins the cast of Konosuba. She joins RE0. She joins many others, including Data Live, in a little walk that you can go along and see all the different anime with the different light up manhole covers. If you're looking for a romance manga, you are going to be sadly disappointed, because the romance is very slow, and it possibly is only just starting after 62 plus chapters, where Uzaki may be starting to realize she might have feelings for Shinichi. If you're looking for something that will make you laugh, I can guarantee that Uzaki-Chan will do so, as it does tend to make me laugh every reread. It gets a lot of hate, and it has generated a lot of controversy over Uzaki Hana herself, but it's ill-deserved and largely unfounded if you do indeed read the manga. Saying this, there are points that make it rather, not exactly dull, but rather repetitive, especially in the jokes used by side characters to aside household characters. Both Master and Amy, they are just basically voyeurs. Isohito himself is basically a straight man who at one point directly asks Uzaki and Shinichi if they've had sex. Yes, all this in a shonen manga, which is aimed at 12 to 18-year-olds. There is a lot of tropes here which are obviously taken from H manga and doujins. Obviously, possibly used by Take Sensei himself in earlier illustrations and doujin. So, if you enjoyed it online, I would humbly ask you to buy the manga yourself. The best score that I can give Uzaki-Chan, despite its foibles for being repetitive, for having repetitive jokes, is 3.5 screaming teacups out of 5. So it is a decent read, well past the time, and you can breeze through it as the chapters are very short, between 5 and 10 pages. Yes, thank you very much for everyone for listening. I hope you have a great time, and bye bye.